what's good? Welcome to Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine. So I went to see a movie today, Bohemian Rhapsody. I was excited to see this. I am a big fan of Queen. I really like all these songs. I never knew who Queen was growing up. I just heard all their music and was like always feeling it. And then I started getting more, I started finding out more about them as I got older. But when I was younger, I heard Flash Gordon on the radio one time, and I was just like, who is that? I was just like vibing to it, like, I like that shit. And, and then I, heard more from them. And then I was like, oh, I heard that song before. I remember hearing walking to a department store, I think. Another one, Bites Dust, was on. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling that. They was like, yeah, that's that one good Queen. I'm like, oh, they make a lot of good songs. So, I started getting acclimated on more Queen's music after that. So, so I was really looking forward to this because I was like wondering when the hell were they going to do a Queen biopic? Because, they done got all these biopics, and I'm looking like, okay, this is one of the bigger classic rock bands, I believe. What's the problem? So finally dropped, starring Rami Malek. Now it says directed by Bryan Singer. Now I heard Bryan Singer didn't direct it, or maybe he only directed half of it or something. So maybe somebody else finished it. I'm not sure. But starring Rami Malek. A lot of people might know him from Mr. Robot. He has a unique look. He had like big eyes. Kind of real thin, like a real thin guy with big eyes. I like him in iRobot. So, Mr. Robot. But, I'd never pictured him as Freddie Mercury or nowhere near being Freddie Mercury. But I want to say I was very, very, very impressed with Rami Malek in this movie. Now, it was some things I didn't like, but it didn't have nothing to do with his performance or him. It was the way, the direction and things they went with this movie. So, okay, this is the biopic of the whole band, Queen, but it's more on Freddie Mercury. The other band members were basically side characters. Okay, now this movie kind of started off when I guess he was in college maybe or in high school. He's working at the airport. I remember I used to work at the airport, so I'm like, man, I used to do that same shit. He's working at the airport, lifting luggage, putting luggage on planes and stuff. So, he had a little job. And, it's, kind of like how these movies are. But he wanted to, go see live shows. And, which is kind of, I don't know if this happened like this, but in this movie, soon as they lead singer quit, he walk up, hey, I like your song. I like y'all show. So yeah, well, we about to quit because we just lost our lead singer. I sing, okay. Like, okay, man. That's like way too convenient, but okay. Stuff like that could have been written a lot better. Now, unless it really happened just like that, and I seriously doubt it, but it was more moments like that in this movie where I was like, okay, the writing, they need to work on how they edit and write some of this, just to, because that's what I want out of biopic. I like to see, of course, you want to see what you know about that person and the whole story behind it, but then you also want to see stuff that you didn't know, or stuff that you read about, and now we can see exactly, what was this person's mindset when this happened, exactly how did this happen, so we didn't get too much of that. I think it was a lot about the music, which I'm fine with, because I was like, okay, if I'm going in this for the music, then I would be happy. But if I'm going in this to see a biopic about somebody's life and about somebody's life and see in depth of how they was like, feeling and what led to this, what led to that, you ain't gonna get too much of that in this. The music was real good. Once they kind of show how they created a song. So they was in the middle of creating it, and then they jumped to them performing it or whatever, which is cool. I kind of like that, but then some of it I was feeling like, yeah, right. And then another disappointing, which just ain't a spoiler, but they didn't show nothing about Flash Gordon, which was like my the first song I heard from Queen that really kind of got me into him, and I was like, they ain't gonna do a Flash Gordon, what the hell? But it was good though. I like I said, Remy Malek. I really liked him. Now I was hearing that because they had Freddie Mercury real flamboyant. I was hearing that he wasn't that flamboyant from other people reviews or whatever. Now I'm not even sure because I don't remember seeing him in no interviews or nothing other than seeing him on stage. So I don't know exactly how he mannerism was and all that, but they had him like very flamboyant, calling people darling and stuff. One interesting fact, though, I found out Freddie Mercury used to box. I was impressed. They had a picture there with the boxing gloves. That's when he was a little kid, though. They say he was actually, his father was like, yeah, he good. He just whoop ass, but every parent probably think their kid the best. But that was interesting. That I never would have thought he was a boxer. And they went back to it later on in the movie when somebody got mad. I was like, let's see how much a good boxer you really are. And he's like, all right, bro, I'll whoop your ass now. So I'm like, okay, Freddie wasn't no punk then. So okay, but yeah, like I said, it was more about Freddie Mercury. It was kind of the drama was a little shallow because it didn't really. It's kind of cut to them making songs, which that's why I said it'd be more if you went to the songs. Now, when they explored, his his homosexuality, the way they played that was kind of just it was kind of silly. So I don't want to spoil it, but this ain't too much of a spoiler. They just had stuff like he was doing shows, and then it was somebody going into they was at a truck stop, and dude going to the bathroom, and he looking at the bathroom like, should I go in there? What's in there? I'm looking like, really, y'all? That's like so corny. Like, okay, if that's the way they want to do it, I don't know. And they didn't really show you anything, so they never really showed him do nothing with no guys. And it's like we already know, y'all don't have to do all these little hints. They kept doing these little subtle hints that he might like men or whatever, and it was like, it's not a big deal. He's like, we know this, so it was just, and then it was like they showed Freddie Mercury living his life or whatever with having the parties, having these outlandish parties and all that, and then the other band members was like we should go. This is not for us, So I was like, I don't know. I don't know if they was really into it too, but they made it seem like Freddie Mercury was in the gay scene and they wasn't. I mean, they got wife and kids or whatever. I guess they wasn't, but they made him a little too off from the group, where he was always late. They did every scene where they had a meetup or whatever. He was always late. Maybe that was true, but where I'm getting at is they made it seem like they didn't do shit wrong and Freddie was just an asshole. And I'm like, I bet you it didn't even go down like just like that. But because every time somebody tells a story, it's always, hey, I wasn't doing nothing. I was just minding my own business. They did everything. If you let me tell it, you let somebody else tell their story, they gonna be the good guy in the story. You know what I'm saying? So, so it was, stuff like that. I felt like it was embellished by the band members to me, and that's just my speculation. But I'm not sure that they made it seem like Freddie was just the reason why everything went south or whatever. When I guess they broke up for a while or whatever. Oh, that was all Freddie's fault, And it was like, I bet you didn't go exactly like that, So the stuff with his relationships or whatever, they just touched on. They didn't really go there, So next, you want to know, when you see the Freddie Mercury story, everybody know Freddie Mercury died of AIDS in 1991. So you was like, okay, how did that all, how that happened, when he found out what was the deal, what was going on. And they kind of glossed over all that too. They didn't show, where he could have, got it from. They didn't really show him really dealing with it. They just had him, you just saw him in the doctor's office one time. And then next thing you know, he telling everybody, no, he didn't tell nobody, but it was just, the way they handled it, it's just like, really, y'all just kind of rushed this. And being a movie, you kind of wonder, like, what was the deal with that? What about the other people? Did he talk to the people that he probably got it from, or could have spread it to later? We don't want to. They was like, we don't even want to go there. So whatever. But they just glossed over that. That was one of the meat of the story. Everybody kind of wondered about that, but they kind of like, well, we're gonna gloss over that. And what your big finale would be the Live Aid concert, and that was like, I guess that was like in '85, and that's like one of their most famous concerts. That was in Wembley, huh? That was in front of 100,000 people, and yeah, it was a dope concert. I remember seeing that on YouTube. I haven't seen it there. They pretty much played the whole concert, so it's like they did the whole 20-minute, Queen segment, and I guess it was the actual audio from the concert or whatever. It was pretty good, So I had a good time with the music. Like, if you're a fan of Queen and you like their music, you probably really gonna enjoy this movie for the music. But they always do this in these biopics of musicians, where they'll play their music in between what's going on, and then you be so into the music that you be like, I like this. So it just puts you that good feeling, even though the movie might not be the greatest. You know what I'm saying? So, the music pretty much saved the bad editing and the bad drama, but the music and Rami Malek's performance, I really like. And even if he wasn't that flamboyant or whatever, because I was hearing that wasn't exactly how Freddie Mercury was, I just really like the way Rami Malek transformed himself. Because I'm saying, if you watch Mr. Robot, he's nothing like this. And I'm like, I really like his performance, man. So for the music and Rami Malek performance, I'm going to go ahead and give it a rating. My rating is a dope. I give it a dope. Now, my highest rating is epic. I'm not going to give it an epic because of the moments of drama, when they wasn't performing and they wasn't, and they wasn't singing or whatever. It was kind of not that great. Just the way they put the story together, stuff. It was like certain things they was doing in there was like Hollywood 101 bull crap, He do one thing and the people start looking at you like he had a little girlfriend before he started messing with the guys, and he just shake a guy's hand and they show her looking like, ooh, he's holding his hand a little too long. Ooh, he must be gay. It's like, come on, man, that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's corny. You need, you could do better than that. So, just stuff like that where it needed work. I give it just a dope. I give it a dope because I was enjoying the music. I was singing along like every song. So I was like, I'm enjoying the music, and some of the creation of the music was pretty cool. I really like just seeing that. I just felt like, I'm watching Queen actually make this song, which they might have embellished a lot of that, but it felt pretty cool. So for that, I give it a dope. And that is my review on Bohemian Rhapsody. It's a pretty good watch, but it's not the best biopic, but it's a good watch, especially if you like Queen music. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks for checking out the video, and I'm out. Peace.